Welcome back, Nerd Squad. While most superheroes prefer to stick to the super crowd when it comes to potential partners, some find themselves falling head over heels for those who don't even have any powers. Sometimes it's non-powered humans who they've known since before they got their powers, and sometimes it's just a non-powered person who has come into their life recently and stole their heart or caught their eye. Either way, just because someone has superpowers, don't expect them to dismiss all civilians when it comes to the world of romance and dating. Today we'll be taking a look at some of the supers who are not afraid to date those without powers and all of the tragic events that have followed them as we count down the top 10 superheroes who hooked up with civilians. Be sure to stick around to the end of this list where I will have some bonus content coming your way. Alright, let's get counting. Number 10. Rogue. One of Rogue's first loves was Cody Robbins, who was just a normal young boy. This was of course before Rogue's powers manifested, but like many mutants before and after her powers then decided to manifest at the worst possible time. As if first kisses weren't awkward enough, her powers activated just as she and Cody leaned in for their first kiss. As a result of her powers manifesting during the kiss, she drained Cody of his life energy, leaving him in a coma. This experience would haunt Rogue for years, causing her to be afraid of her powers and thereby making her unable to fully control them, until she came to realize her fear and trauma were exactly what was holding her back. Number 9. Carol Danvers / Captain Marvel. Although at the time Carol wasn't Captain Marvel yet, she was Miss Marvel. While her original Miss Marvel series had some really great stuff in it, her dating life was pretty weird in there. Though, to be honest, I've always found a lot of Carol's dating choices to be pretty weird. Except for Rhodey. That is a love that will last forever in my mind. When it came to dating your average Joe though, Carol was kinda all over the place. Her main squeeze seemed to be her therapist, Mike Barnett, if you could call him her main squeeze. Which, yeah, is really wrong by the way for a lot of reasons. Mainly because Carol continued to see Mike as her therapist while she was dating him. Eek. Mike violently met his end when he was randomly murdered by Mystique in his own office. And then Carol had to watch it later on this sort of illusion thing and it was not good. I also like how in that scene Iron Man is like, this is an illusion thing. Oh, the 90s. This is just apparently part of the 90s. We were like, illusions, it's normal. Number 8. Starfire. Although in the end he wasn't truly a civilian in regards to him being just an innocent guy with no ulterior motives, Starfire believed that Franklin was pretty much innocent the entire time they were together. Franklin Crandall was someone Starfire had met through her job as a model, which her pal Donna Troy, aka Wonder Girl, had helped her to land. Starfire actually fell hard for Franklin, creating tension between her and her ex at the time, Dick Grayson's Nightwing, in regards to their working relationship on the Teen Titans. In the end, Franklin was revealed to have been a spy for Hive, but he had also fallen for Kory as well. He refused to betray her and as a result Hive eliminated him. Tragically, he died in Starfire's arms. Don't know if you're noticing a pattern yet here. Number 7. Kyle Rayner / Green Lantern. Since becoming a hero and having a really bad experience when it comes to his relationships with civilians, Green Lantern Kyle Rayner has aimed to stick to dating those with powers, usually. So he's really only had one major relationship with a civilian, but it ended so tragically that it's likely informed the rest of his choices when it comes to dating. Alexandra DeWitt was actually Kyle's ex, whom he was living with when he was given his power ring, and with it the powers and responsibilities of being a Green Lantern. Alex helped him during his transitional period in learning how to be a hero. She even made him a costume too. And the change actually brought the two of them back together again, allowing them to rekindle their romance. Yay! Unfortunately, while he was away on a mission, Alex's closeness to Kyle caused his enemies to target her, killing her and brutally stuffing her in their fridge, along with a note that seemed to be signed from Alex that read, "Surprise for you in the fridge." Rough. Although Alex passed away, she has never been far from Kyle's thoughts, and he has frequently created constructs of her. Number 6. Hal Jordan / Green Lantern. Outside of the fact that Carol Ferris was originally a civilian when the two first found themselves kind of falling for one another, Hal has also dated women who stayed civilians as well. Carol herself was originally Hal's boss, which is why they could never be together. In fact, Carol was not just in love with Hal, but she was also in love with his other persona as well, the Green Lantern, who she originally did not know was actually Hal himself. Later she would become the Violet Lantern known as Starfire, and the two would have an on-again, off-again romance throughout the years. But in and around that love story, Hal would also get involved with Normal Girl and Ginger, Eve Doremus, and fellow Air Force pilot Jillian Perlman, known by her call sign Cowgirl. Number 5. Wolverine. Wolverine has almost had as many non-powered lovers as he's had powered lovers, and a lot of these romances have tended to be his happiest while also being his most tragic, because a lot of his non-powered loves have ended up dead. Are you noticing a pattern yet here? Among some of his most important and most dead of his ex-lovers are Itsu, who is also the mother of Daken, but died before he was born. Daken was actually horrifyingly cut from her womb and taken by her killer. Gross. Maureen, his wife from the Old Man Logan universe, Mariko, and Silver Fox. Dead, 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 super dead. Number 4. Superman. While Superman may not have a ton of romantic hookups with civilians, I mean, it's Superman, he's not really big on hookups to begin with, more of the settle down with one gal type, he has had one pretty big one, and that is his great love story with Lois Lane. Although in the New 52, DC really tried to make Superman and Wonder Woman a thing, the fact remains that Lois will always be his main squeeze. And if he's not with Lois, then it's got to be great love number 2, Lana Lang, Superman's canonically a very first high school sweetheart. Depending on which retcon you're reading. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Don't overthink it. Number 3. She-Hulk. She-Hulk has actually ended up with more than one civilian. She has a very strange relationship with a dude named Rory, who basically was one of the most pessimistic people I've ever met in the comics, especially given his random luck. He ends up winning big at a casino and running into the gorgeous, brilliant, and strong Jennifer Walters. He also ends up as a pal of the Man-Thing, and yet he can't help but always focus on the negative. Rory, just like focus on the positive sometimes. This is probably why everything always ends up eventually going south for him. It's rumored he was based on Steve Gerber, who was actually the writer for the issue of Man-Thing that Rory first appeared in, and Man-Thing in general. She-Hulk has also gotten romantic and physical with other civilians, some of who were problematic and some of who were pretty great actually, such as Zapper, Wyatt Wingfoot, and Mika, an underwear model. Number 2. Spider-Man. Peter Parker has also had many famous civilian love interests, his 2 primary ones being Mary Jane Watson, MJ, and Gwen Stacy. But even before there was Gwen Stacy, there was another normal person that he was romantically attached to, Betty Brant. Well, normal except for the fact that her name's like kind of an alliteration. Betty Brant. Betty Brant was J. Jonah Jameson's secretary. The two met at work and began dating as early as issue 9 in the very first Amazing Spider-Man comic. Gwen Stacy actually wouldn't even be introduced until issue 31, fun fact. So Betty was there first. Number 1. Batman. Well, Batman has had a number of supervillain and superhero pairings when it comes to his relationships, though likely more villains than heroes have been with Batman, to be honest. He has also been with some pretty normal people as well. Normal. In Gotham? Who's normal in Gotham, really? Quite a few civilians actually for Batman. His list includes the first love that we were introduced to of Batman's, Julie Madison, his fiancée. She was originally an actress but was also retconned quite a few times, so she's done other things as well. One of the reasons why the two didn't tie the knot was that Bruce found out that she was just after his fortune. Wah wah wah. Batman has also been with civilians Vesper Fairchild, a Gotham radio host, the famous reporter and photographer Vicky Vale, and he almost tied the knot with socialite Silver St. Cloud. He even briefly dated Soup's main squeeze Lois Lane. Yep. Oh yeah, and word to the wise, if you are dating Batman and you're a civilian, it is super dangerous! A lot of his lovers and ex-lovers end up dead and often murdered by his foes. Just like everybody else that dates supers in this list. Pretty much. She-Hulk is a safe one to date, I think. Thank you so much for watching, Nerd Squad. I hope you enjoyed this list. Who are some of your favorite non-powered romantic partners who have hooked up with superheroes? Do you like it better when superheroes hook up with other superheroes, civilians, or do you like it when they hook up with supervillains? If you could date a superhero, would you, and who would you date? Let us know your thoughts and feels in the comments below. And speaking of comments, it's time to turn to some comments from one of our latest videos, Top 10 Shocking Cable Facts. Sean Schliep says, when Cable had his first volume back in the 1990s in issue 8, Cable and Domino are in Florida. They fall in love. This is the one I wrote a book report on for my English class. I got a B. Yo, you should have gotten an O for Omega, or at least an A for Alpha. Okay, I'll stop. I actually really loved their love story though. I wish that it had stayed real. Brother Mutant 73 comments, quick, someone show her the X-Babies fighting. Wait, yes, please show me that. I need that in my life right now. More X-Babies, please. Share any panels you snap with me on my Twitter. You can just post them there and tag me. I will look at them all. Or send me issue numbers for my reading list and I will go and read them myself. Please and thank you. X-Babies! And that's all the time we have for comments today. Be sure to comment below for a chance to have your word shouted out in a future list. This has been Top 10 Nerd and I'm your host Amanda McKnight. You stay nerdy, YouTube. This experience would haunt Rogue for years, causing her to be afraid of her powers, and thereby making her unable to fully. Mike violently met his end by randomly getting murdered. And if he's not with Lois, then it's got to be Great Love number 2, who's also a civilian, Lana Lang. Good old Lana Lang.